Hello there, lovely beams of divine love and light. This is Serenity checking in here from pathway in the middle of the cemetery. I'm like away from all the people and away from all the dead bodies. That sounds terrible. Away from all the tombstones. Just because it's Sunday and there's a lot of people at the cemetery, so I just wanted to find a secluded spot. But today I wanted to talk about the importance of staying aligned with your higher self and with love frequency whilst maneuvering your way through the momentum of the twin flame relationship. Because I'm noticing a pattern with me and my twin. It's like we'll connect via text message or via Instagram, some electronic medium, just to kind of check in on each other energetically, and to kind of establish that we still have that bond, irregardless of whatever emotional turmoil that we've been through or put each other through via blocking each other. And I'm just noticing that right after that connection, there'll be an expectation for both of us. There'll be an expectation for me to continue to reach out consistently, irregardless of whether he's responding. And there'll be an expectation on my end for him to at least respond sometimes and to eventually state his offer of love, as well as invite me over so that we can connect in the physical. And so when one of those offers wavers, like if I stop my consistent reaching out and my consistent offers of love via video messages, updates on what's been going on with me psychically, or information about consciousness, or sensual pictures, to establish that the desire is still there and well and alive, passion is still kicking. Sorry, sometimes when I talk about it, I get lost in the sauce. The sensuous sauce, I get lost. Okay, so back to real time here. So when I am not holding up to that offer, he gets upset and he will eventually block me, because he's like, well, does she still love me? It's just basically, I don't even have to go into the details. It's like doubt and fear infiltrates the whole connection, and there's like an interference between our connectivity. So then when he blocks me, I feel like, dang, what did I do? Like, does he still care about me? Like, what is happening? And also on the other end, when he is not making his love offer via responding to me or inviting me over, I'm like, well, does he even, there's a bug on me. I'm like, well, does he even appreciate me? Is he grateful for my presence in his life, or is he taking me for granted? And then all the fear and doubt start to infiltrate my system and interfere with the seamless connectivity that we previously established. And then we go back into fear consciousness and separation consciousness, and then we're just all up in our feelings in the worst way, because it's nothing wrong with being all up in your feelings, because your feelings carry intuitive wisdom if you take the time to listen to see what they're trying to say to you in that moment in time. And so it's really not healthy for us to be in separation and fear consciousness, because we're carrying that energy around with us, and there's a blockage within our system. Like, our hearts are not completely open, because that person kind of holds the key to unlock the complete openness of the heart. Yes, we can connect with others at a heart level, and they can open up aspects of our heart, and that is freaking beautiful, and I'm so grateful. And I'm starting to be way more open to connecting with others, especially when I'm not in connection with my twin, because usually when I'm not in connection with my twin, my whole heart shuts down. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't even want to talk to myself, and that's not a healthy state to be in, because then I'm not at an elevated state of consciousness, and therefore there's a blockage between me and the next dimension for which I'm meant to experience, for which me and my twin are meant to experience, for which the people that we are in contact are meant to experience through us, from us, so we can all raise higher. And that's the whole goal. That's the whole purpose here. So then it's like contradictory and counterintuitive, but in those times of separation, we learn a lot, and we come to realizations about how we got ourselves there, and then we come to appreciate each other even more deeply when we do come back into connection. Because when me and my twin are in separation, he sings more deeply and he's able to hit higher notes when he's feeling it intensely, and I come up with some pretty beautiful poems too as well when we're in separation. But it's nothing like when we're in unity consciousness. It's a whole nother level, it's a whole nother frequency, and it's just so beautiful to elevate ourselves through love and elevate others through love. Because yes, we'll be able to relate through others through our pain and our suffering, and so it's all meant to happen in that way. Nothing is actually bad, it's just, it's happening. But as far as elevation's sake, it makes the most sense to stay at the higher frequencies. So I noticed a pattern where this, with us connecting recently and him inviting me over and us not being able to meet up, usually, so I'm drinking some mint tea with honey to soothe my insides and revitalize them, because mint is very revitalizing. So usually I feel a bee around me. I don't want to get stung. Usually when we're not able to meet, and then afterwards I'll send him, I'll consistently send him love offerings, because that's just in my nature, and I'm always thinking about him and everything reminds me of him, and so it's like, why not? But then eventually I start feeling ungrateful. I start feeling that he is ungrateful, but that's me projecting my feelings onto him. And then when I project those feelings onto him and I stop sending messages, he starts to think, well, it just shifts. The whole dynamic completely shifts, and that's how we are mirrors of each other. That's why we have to be conscious of what we're doing and how our feelings are shape-shifting the dynamic, whether it's for the worse or for the better. It's all a learning process, but just when you come up against a blockage that looks familiar, try something different. It's like an experiment. Try something different. Flow with the experiment. Don't try to control it, because when you're blocking your twin, you're trying to control it because you need time to yourself to figure things out. And also, I would block him because I didn't want to have to worry about whether he was going to respond or not, because I would be under so much anxiety about him not responding. But you also have to know who you're dealing with. Like, we communicate our feelings in different ways. My divine masculine communicates his feelings primarily through song, primarily through symbolism in the pictures that he posts on Instagram, primarily in person. It's not so much over text message. As much as I would like that validation of feeling via text message, it's just not happening right now, and that is okay, as long as you know who you're dealing with. Let me just give an example about symbolism. So I sent my twin a video of me in the mountains, just kind of relaxing, and I had on a choker with a key on it. I made it myself. I make jewelry. Hopefully I'll get some more money so I can start my jewelry line. But my twin knows that he holds the key to my heart. And in the video I kind of like caressed my neck and just like put my hand on the key, and in the video I put the key. And I also took a video snapshot of there was like a rock while I was in the mountains of a heart, and I just put that within the video. I've been trying to do things different. Usually I send like multiple videos, but now I'm just trying to put multiple scenes into one video so that he can just kind of get a concise view of like what's been going on in my reality, and it usually parallels, and it did, because the very next day he hadn't reached out to me, but in the physical, but I could feel him, and I know that he enjoys my videos, and I know he watches them, and I know that he feels deeply when he watches them, and he thinks deeply on a higher level when he watches them, because I only send him high consciousness content. So that's inevitable, and he confirmed it, so there we go. So I got my confirmation and my validation via when I looked at his Instagram post. He was next to a graffiti wall with some graffiti on it that said XO, which is the symbolism for love. And he also was kind of looking down, and he was caressing his wrist, which had 3 of the bracelets that I made for him, which he hadn't wore in I don't know how long, and he hadn't wore them because he hadn't felt connected to me, because I kept leaving and we kept blocking each other. So therefore, why would he wear the bracelets? There's a butterfly, it's far off in the distance, but thank you, divinity. I hear you, girl. I hear you loud and clear. Okay, so that was confirmation that he's like, hello, I hear you, I feel you, you are with me in this moment as I wear your bracelets, as I tune into the love energy that's on that graffiti wall, and as well as right next to bricks, which is similar to another butterfly, which is similar to the mountains I was in. So, you know, me and my twin communicate through symbols, and it's all that subtle stuff that you should make sure that you pay attention to, so you don't miss out on the bigger picture and getting caught up in blockages and time loops, basically, that are not for your highest good. It's time to rise out of that. So instead of as usual, it had been like, it was the day after I saw the picture. There's like a lawnmower and it's loud. Like, I don't like noises. Well, I guess I have to deal with it. So it was the day after I saw the picture, and I still hadn't heard from him, and I was just like, it was just like my ego was like, I need more validation, I need more validation, hello. But no, you don't need more validation, you got it. So what is the problem? Like, there is no problem. It's like creating problems. And I almost was like, it feels weird to be in this space. It was like I was relating to him in a different way, in a way that I really enjoyed and appreciated, but it was also like, wow, nothing's wrong. Like, I'm content. Like, it was like an ecstatic contentment swept over my being. But at first I was really frustrated. My ego was like lashing out, and it was like, well, he's not behaving in the way that a typical guy would by reaching out and whatever. But this is a new paradigm of relationship dynamics. It's not like that. It's not like the 3D. That is being demolished so that we can rise up into something bigger, greater. And it's so beautiful just to know that we're able to inspire each other from afar, whether we're in contact or not. That's why separation consciousness is null and void in this space. We are unity consciousness here. We are in tune with the divinity here seamlessly. And so instead of wanting to block him, which crossed my mind, instead of wanting to reach out to him and say, you know what, I can't do this no more. I can't. This is too much. Like, you're not acting right. You're not grateful. Like, what's going on? Like, But no, that wasn't. It's not true. So it's like you got to separate the truth from the fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Look at the evidence. The evidence is that I received my validation. The illusion is that my ego wants more. It's greedy as heck for love, for validation of love. Oh, there was like flashing lights or something in the background. And there was multiple things I wanted to send to him. I was going to send him something like sensual and sexual to get his attention, but that's not what it's about. Like, it's something way bigger than that. I can have sex with anybody. Like, that's nothing, but it's not going to feel the same. So that's literally nothing, and it's not going to happen. And so when I slept on it, I got up and I was able to connect to something really important, really big. I didn't bring it. I was going to bring my notebook, but it was about how the psychic symbols that we receive are in like mandala form, and they're mathematical in the sense that there is order, and yet we create the order amidst the chaos. And that's when the subconscious visions, the subconscious whispers, the subtle whispers rise up from the subconscious into the conscious through dreams, through psychic symbols, which then creates the order out of the chaos. But there has to be the chaos to create the order, and so we need both in order to seamlessly understand, get a full comprehension of what's happening. And that's why it's so important